morning, dear students. I am Miss NAVEDA SHAIKH from Brahan Mumbai Mahanagar Palika MCGM virtual class. I welcome all my dear students to another and interesting session. In today's session, we'll be learning something new and interesting from a science textbook. So let's get started. Good morning, dear students. I am Mrs. NAVEDA SHAIKH from MCGM virtual class. I welcome all my dear students to another and interesting session. In today's class, we'll be learning a very interesting chapter from your science textbook. Now, we have already started with this chapter and we have uploaded a video of the first part of this chapter, that was muscular system and digestive system in human beings. This is part 2 of this chapter. We have already completed muscular system. So if you haven't watched our video, please go and watch that video first, so you'll understand the first half of this chapter. And in this video, we'll be talking about the next half of the chapter, that is the digestive system in human beings. As we all know that it is a very interesting chapter because it is related to our body and we need to understand how the system works in our body. Because we cannot see this, right? हम लोग हमारा digestive system देख नहीं सकते, but we know that it is there because we are eating food and you're getting energy. That means it is working properly. Okay, so what are the things which are involved in the proper functioning of this system and how does it work? Let us see that. Now, there is a very simple question that I would ask my students. What happens to the food we eat inside our body? We have learned in 5th standard about our digestive system, various types of systems that are there in our body. When you eat your food, you put the morsel of food inside your mouth. You chew it, then the food enters into the food pipe. Up till there, you know that the food is going inside your body. ठीक है, उसके बाद क्या होता है? What exactly happens to this food that you have eaten inside your body? We cannot see that, we cannot feel it also. Okay, sometimes when you drink water, cold water or hot water, an empty stomach, that time you might feel that the water is passing through the food pipe and it is going into your stomach. But when you are eating food, you directly do not at once come to know okay, what exactly is happening to the food. So how does it pass? From where does it pass to where? Okay, we'll be talking that. The conversion of food into a soluble form and its absorption into the blood is called digestion. When you eat the food, when you put the food in your mouth, your teeth are there, they chew the food, you have your tongue, you have your salivary glands, they produce saliva, then this food goes into your esophagus, then in the esophagus it goes into your stomach, there it breaks down. Then it goes into your small intestine, large intestines, all the nutrients are absorbed and sent into the blood, and that is how digestion takes place and all the waste comes out through the anus. Okay, so this conversion of food into a soluble form and its absorption together into the blood is called as digestion. ये हर सारी चीज़ें मतलब खाने का breakdown होना और फिर ये जो ब्रेक हो गया खाना उसे अब्जॉर्ब करना हमारे ब्लड के अंदर, ये पूरे प्रोसेस को डाइजेशन कहते हैं. ठीक है, इट इज़ अ वेरी सिंपल थिंग टू रिमेंबर. आई होप इट इज़ क्लियर कि डाइजेशन क्या है. Here you can see your digestive system and various parts of the digestive system. Your mouth, the esophagus, stomach, liver, gallbladder, pancreas, small intestine, large intestine. These are all involved in the process of digestion. The digestive system consists of the alimentary canal. It is like a pipe. Okay? It joins from your mouth till the anus, but it passes through different parts, organs. The digestive system consists of the alimentary canal and digestive glands. The total length of alimentary canal is about 9 meters. Okay, you can imagine how long your alimentary canal is. 9 meters, matlab you can measure 1 meter cloth and just see how much is 9 meter. Okay, its main parts are the mouth, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum and anus. The salivary glands, liver and pancreas are the digestive glands connected to the alimentary canal. Okay, now if you notice on the screen, everybody can see from the mouth, you can see that there is a pink color pipe kind of a thing, right? I'll just use a highlighter so that it becomes clear to you what am I talking about. Okay, so we are talking about this is the alimentary canal. This alimentary canal goes into the stomach. From the stomach it goes into the small intestine, and from the small intestine it passes into the large intestine. Okay, and from the large intestine it goes to the rectum, and then from the anus you have the waste product coming out. Alright, so this is the alimentary canal. This is about 9 meters long, because जो small intestine है, large intestine है, ये coiled किया हुआ है inside your body. So when it is stretched, we will come to know how long it is. Okay, so it is about 9 meters long. These are the main parts of the digestive system. Okay, next part that we're talking about is the digestive glands. Okay, so the digestive glands are the liver. This is your liver. There is pancreas over here. Okay, and the gallbladder also, and near your mouth inside. First organ that we're talking about, which helps in the process of digestion, is the teeth. Once you put the food into your mouth, very first thing is your teeth are acting onto the food. हम लोग खाने को चबाते हैं. You chew the food. The process of digestion begins with the function of the teeth in the mouth. There are 4 types of teeth, namely incisors. You all can see the structures. I've given you all the picture here. Incisors, canines, जो पॉइंटेड टीथ आप लोगों को फील होते हैं ना, आपके दांत जो हम लोग फ्रंट में जो पॉइंटेड टीथ जो होते हैं उसे कनाइंस कहते हैं. प्री मोलर्स जो उसके पीछे होते हैं, एंड मोलर्स जो एकदम लास्ट में होते हैं. ईच टाइप ऑफ टूथ हैज़ अ स्पेसिफिक फंक्शन. ईच टूथ इज कवर्ड बाय अ हार्ड सब्सटेंस कॉल्ड एनेमल. नाउ एनेमल इज हियर. जो हम लोगों के जो टीथ के ऊपर जो वाइट हम लोगों को दिखाई देता है ना, दैट इज व्हाट इज एनेमल. Enamel is made up of calcium salt. That is why it is said that you should have a sufficient amount of calcium in your diet so that your bones and your teeth are strong. Okay, because this enamel is made up of calcium. So how the process of digestion starts? It starts from the teeth. You have different types of teeth. You have 4 types of teeth. Incisors जो आगे के, the front teeth that you have, 4 जो ऊपर और नीचे के 2 दांत होते हैं फ्रंट के, those are incisors. Besides them, just उसके बाजू में pointed teeth होते हैं, those are the canines. Next, after that you have the molars. Then at the end, towards the end, उसके और पीछे की तरफ जो है, those are molars. Understood? So they have different functions. Like हम लोगों को अगर कोई चीज़ बाइट मारनी है, अगर कुछ हार्ड है, तो यू मेक यूज़ ऑफ योर जो हमारे जो पीछे के दांत होते हैं हम लोग उससे चबाने की कोशिश करते हैं. इफ़ समथिंग सॉफ्ट, यू मेक यूज़ ऑफ योर इंसीजर्स और योर कनाइंस. ओके, कनाइंस जब हम लोग को कोई चीज़ टेयर करनी होती तो यू मेक यूज़ ऑफ दोज टीथ. सो एवरी टीथ हैज़ अ डिफरेंट फंक्शन so that you can chew the food easily and properly. Next, after you're chewing the food, along with chewing the food, there are saliva also being released. Saliva contains an enzyme called ptyalin or salivary amylase. Ptyalin converts starch into a sugar called maltose. Now, when you're eating your food, when you're chewing your food, that time the teeth are doing their function of grinding the food that you have eaten. ठीक है, हम लोग सीधा जैसा खा रहे हैं रोटी है तो उसे डायरेक्टली यू कैन नॉट swallow it. It needs to be grinded with the help of your teeth. Okay, so your teeth are grinding the food that you're eating so that it becomes little soft, much more softer, so that it can pass through the esophagus. So for making it more soft and having liquid in it, there is a gland inside your mouth. okay, which releases saliva. Now this saliva has enzymes in it, means it is a type of chemical which is actually helping to convert the starch that is present into the food into maltose, simpler form, और थोड़ा simple कर देता है उसे, ठीक है. After the mouth, the food enters from the mouth. हम लोगों को पता है from in the mouth digestion starts. Okay, digestion of food begins in the mouth. Food is chewed with the help of teeth into very small pieces, right? Then it goes into the throat. Here you can see the picture of the pharynx or the throat. The esophagus, the trachea opened into the pharynx. Now here is the mouth. From the mouth the food is going into the food pipe. Normally you have learned it is called as the food pipe, but now we have to learn a new word for it, that is pharynx or the esophagus. Okay, this is the esophagus here. This entire pipe is called as the esophagus. And trachea open into the pharynx. Here जो हमारे मुंह से जो निकलता है यहाँ पर, this is the trachea. Everybody can see what is the trachea. Okay. Here is the trachea. Next, esophagus. It is a tube leading from the pharynx. From here, from the throat, it is going. Here, everybody can see from the throat, it is going into the stomach. It is a pipe. It is a tube kind of a structure, leading from the pharynx to the stomach. It pushes the food towards the stomach. Okay, so these are the three things that happens from your mouth. It goes into the, everybody has understood what happens exactly inside the mouth. The food is chewed with the help of the teeth. Saliva is secreted, which converts it into maltose, and then the food enters into your throat or the pharynx, and from the throat it goes into the. Now what exactly happens inside the stomach? Now everybody can see how the stomach looks. The large sac-like part of the alimentary canal is called the stomach. Okay. The gastric glands of stomach secrete gastric juice. Food that has entered stomach is churned. Now see, remember your stomach has various type of acids in it. Okay, the gastric glands are there, जो ये acids को release करते हैं, enzymes release करते हैं ताकि आपका food dissolve हो और easily absorb हो सके, ठीक है. So this part of your stomach has gastric glands which secrete gastric juices so that whatever food enters into the stomach get churned, मतलब और बारीक फॉर्म में हो जाए. 3 components of gastric juices, namely hydrochloric acid, pepsin and mucus, are mixed with food here and it becomes acidic. Okay, हम लोग बोलते हैं ना acidity हो रही है. So the acid comes from the stomach that is there. If you are not eating properly, or if you have eaten too much of oily food or some spicy food which cannot be easily digested here in the stomach, वो acid के साथ में सही तरीके से blend नहीं हो रहा है, तो there are chances that this reflexes up. ये acid ऊपर की तरफ आता है और हम लोगों को you all feel जो हम लोग को you all feel uneasy in the chest. People feel uneasy in the chest. लगता है ना acidity हो रही है people से. So this is what exactly happens because there is acid being produced in your stomach so that the food gets digested easily. Okay. So here the food, when it enters, it gets churned. Then the gastric juices, the hydrochloric acid, pepsin and mucus, these are mixed with the food and the food becomes acidic. Mainly proteins are digested in the stomach. Due to the churning and the action of gastric juices, food becomes a semi-solid slurry which is slowly pushed into the small intestine. Now it becomes little bit liquidy, not very solid, not very liquid. Okay, it could be pushed into the small intestine from the stomach. Understood what exactly is happening in the stomach? You've eaten food, the food is mixed with saliva, it goes into your food pipe, that is the esophagus. From the esophagus it is going into the stomach. In the stomach there are gastric juices named as hydrochloric acid, pepsin and mucus. They mix with the food and protein is basically digested in the stomach, and then the food enters in the form of slurry, okay, semi solid slurry into the small intestine. Okay, understood this much? Let's continue. Now we move on to the very interesting part, the digestive glands here. These digestive glands, which are attached to the alimentary canal, we have learned about one of it, that is the salivary gland we have learned. Now we will learn about what is the liver. The liver is the largest gland in the body. Okay, now we are not talking about the organ, we are talking about the glands. It has a rich supply of blood. Its main function is storage of glucose. The gallbladder, you all can see, is situated below the liver. This green color structure that you see, it is the gallbladder. It stores the bile, the digestive juices secreted by the liver. When bile is carried into the small intestine, it mixes with the food there and helps in the digestion of fats. Bile contains bile salts. Now liver has, everybody has seen liver. Liver is something which appears to be very red in color as compared to all the parts. ठीक है, बहुत लाल होता है वो, because it has high amount of blood in it, rich supply of blood in it. Its main function is to store glucose, and along with the liver there is a gallbladder attached to it. Gallbladder में से bile pigment release होता है. This bile pigment, when it enters into your digestive system, that is the small intestine, वहाँ पर the fats that you have eaten, जो भी fatty fats थे, जैसे कि if you must have eaten oil or ghee or butter, then nuts, जो भी चीज़ के अंदर fats थे, वो fats stomach में dissolve या फिर digestion नहीं हुआ, it will happen into the inside the small intestine with the help of the bile pigment. Okay, so this bile is helping to break down fats in your body. Understood? So this much is clear. Next is pancreas. Pancreas are very important part in the digestion, because the pancreas secrete the pancreatic juices that contains various enzymes which helps in maintaining the glucose level in your body. ठीक है, दिस इज़ नॉट मेंशन्ड इन योर बुक्स, बट व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट डायबिटीज़, हम लोगों ने सुना है ना, मैनी पीपल आर सफरिंग फ्रॉम डायबिटीज़. नाउ डायबिटीज़ के अंदर यही पैनक्रियाज, इट डजंट फंक्शन प्रॉपर्ली. ओके, द पैनक्रियाज, देयर माइट बी सम प्रॉब्लम विद द पैनक्रियाज बिकॉज ऑफ योर हेरिडिटरी इशू. मतलब अगर पेरेंट्स के अंदर है तो देयर इज़ अ चांस दैट बच्चों में भी हो डायबिटीज़. ये पैनक्रियाज की वजह से ही ये प्रॉब्लम होता है. ठीक है, so if this pancreas are not functioning properly, if they are not producing proper enzyme, sufficient amount of enzyme, then the glucose level, जो ग्लूकोज हमारी बॉडी में बनता है ना, शुगर बनती है, वो ब्लड में चली जाती है और अच्छी तरीके से ऑब्जॉर्ब नहीं हो पाती. इट इज़ देन, वो जो ग्लूकोज शुगर है वो ब्लड में भी रहती है प्रेजेंट ज़्यादा अमाउंट में, और यूरिन में भी प्रेजेंट होती है. ठीक है, सो पैनक्रियाज आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट इन कंट्रोलिंग दैट लेवल इन योर बॉडी. Next you have the food comes into the small intestine from the stomach. Now that semi-solid slurry is pushed into the small intestine. ये जो बीच में coiled portion दिख रहा है ना, that is the small intestine. The small intestine is about 6 meters long. So पूरे digestive system में सबसे बड़ा part, सबसे लंबा part is the small intestine, which is 6 meters long. Most of the digestion and absorption of food takes place here. After the stomach, you have most of the things getting digested in the small intestine, and once the food is digested, there is absorption also starts here only. 3 different digestive juices are mixed with the food in the small intestine. Absorption into the blood of nutrients obtained by the digestion of food also occurs in the small intestine. सारा खाना जो हम लोग खाते हैं, it goes into the stomach, it breaks down there. then it is sent into the small intestine. From the small intestine और भी चीज़ें digest होती है, because सारी चीज़ें stomach में digest नहीं होती. So some digestion process happens in the small intestine. Once that is done, उसमें से जो भी nutrients है निकला है खाने में से. Now you must have eaten chapati or rice or dal, egg, fish, meat, oil along with it जिसमें पका होगा. So all these things that you've eaten, now that is broken down, has been digested. What will happen, अब इसके अंदर से nutrients निकालने हैं ना, तो we know that rice, potatoes or bhakris, or not bhakris but roti, they have carbohydrates in them. So that carbohydrate is absorbed, it is sent into the blood to give you instant energy. Then protein is being absorbed, sent into the blood to make your muscles strong. Okay, if you've got hurt somewhere, it helps in building those broken tissues and muscles. Okay, if fats are there that you have eaten, that fat is absorbed from the small intestine into the blood, and they help you to store this fats, so that if in case if you require energy in a large amount, that time it could be used. So that way absorption has also started in the small intestine. Understood? Now the food is then pushed into the large intestine. The large intestine is about 1.5 meters long. Only water is absorbed in the large intestine. A small part called the appendix is attached to the first part of the large intestine. Undigested remains of the food digested in the small intestine enter the large intestine. Undigested material is thrown out of the body through the anus. Now here you can see this is the appendix. Sometimes this is actually not actually functional in everybody's body, but this might have some infection, might cause infection in some people, and the appendix could be removed and people can still survive. Okay, आप लोग सुने होंगे appendix का दर्द हो रहा है. So this is what appendix is inside the stomach. Okay, so mostly in this large intestine you have only water being absorbed, और अगर थोड़ा बहुत कुछ रह गया हमारे जो खाना था उसके अंदर से थोड़ा बहुत न्यूट्रिएंट अब्सॉर्ब हो सकता है यहाँ पर. एंड वट एवर वेस्ट नाउ रिमेन्स इन द फूड, अभी जो भी हम लोग ने खा लिया उसमें से न्यूट्रिएंट्स हैव बीन अब्सॉर्ब. नाउ दिस लेफ्ट ओवर food which has nothing but as a waste, it is passed through the large intestine, and then it comes from the large intestine, it is coming out through the rectum. This is the rectum, and from the rectum here down you have the anus, and the waste food is thrown out. Okay, so the undigested material is thrown out of the body through the anus. Everybody, it is clear how the food enters your body and how it is leaving from your body. Everybody has understood each and every function of the part of the digestive system. Here there is a chart in your textbook also, you can refer that as well. The important glands of the digestive system, their secretion and the function. First is the mouth, salivary gland. उसके अंदर एक salivary gland है, it secretes ptyalin that is helping in the conversion of starch into maltose. Next is stomach. ना ईसोफेगस और फेरिंग्स के अंदर कोई ग्लैंड्स नहीं है, ठीक है. स्टमक में डायरेक्टली गैस्ट्रिक ग्लैंड्स है, गैस्ट्रिक वॉल है. इट सिक्रीट्स गैस्ट्रिक जूसेस कॉल्ड एज हाइड्रोक्लोरिक एसिड, पेप्सिन एंड म्यूकस. दिस मेक्स द फूड एसिडिक. इट ब्रेक्स डाउन प्रोटीन. इट हेल्प्स इन प्रोटेक्टिंग द इनर लाइनिंग ऑफ द स्टमक फ्रॉम हाइड्रोक्लोरिक एसिड ऑल्सो. ओके, हाइड्रोक्लोरिक एसिड इज़ वेरी एसिडिक, ठीक है. अगर हम लोग कोई चीज़ से फेंकेंगे तो वो चीज़ जल जाएगी. तो यू कैन इमेजिन अगर हमारे स्टमक में ये एसिड है तो इट इज़ वेरी डेंजरस फॉर द इंटरनल पार्ट ऑफ द स्टमक. बट देयर इज पेप्सिन एंड म्यूकस ऑल्सो प्रेजेंट, विच इज़ द म्यूकस इज हेल्पिंग to protect the stomach from this hydrochloric acid. Okay, then inside your body, not inside the stomach but outside the stomach, you have liver and pancreas, right? We have learned about them as well. Liver secretes bile to make food alkaline, to convert large fat particles into small ones, I've explained this earlier also. Then pancreas. Pancreas release pancreatic juice, trypsin, lipase and amylase. Important names, okay, if you remember these names. To convert proteins into amino acids, to convert fats into fatty acids and glycerol, to convert complex carbohydrates into simple sugars. Okay, so I've told you that pancreas का important काम है to convert carbohydrates into sugar, and if it doesn't function properly, this sugar gets mixed into the blood also and into the urine also. Next organ is small intestine. In the small intestine you have intestinal juices. To convert protein into amino acids, to convert complex carbohydrates into glucose, and to convert fats into fatty acids and glycerol. Okay, so I hope with this the important glands of the digestive systems, their secretions, where they are situated and what are the functions of it is clear to you. Now we have seen that how important your stomach and your body is, right? Your digestive system, every system in your body is very important. But people get into various kind of consumptions of alcohol or tobacco, smoking. This is endangering our body. Okay, it is causing various types of problem in our body. So if we consume any tobacco products, the mouth, the pharynx, the alimentary canal and other organs of the digestive system cannot function properly. It causes problems like vomiting, nausea मतलब चक्कर आना, or feeling like vomiting and headache. Besides tobacco, particles stick to teeth, gums and skin in the mouth cavity and slowly causes injury to those parts, resulting in their dysfunctioning. This causes swelling of the gums and pain when moving the jaws. The pharynx and intestine becomes inflamed and the condition further progresses into cancer, leading to death. So here there are two pictures explaining you how these particles of tobacco or alcohol, they can cause serious danger to your life. Okay, people die because of cancer because they consume tobacco in any form, चाहे वो चबा रहे हो tobacco या फिर smoke कर रहे हो. Because of smoking also people get heart attack, they might get cancer of various parts of the body. अगर alcohol consume कर रहे हैं तो it might cause cancer or failure of liver also. So these are very dangerous problems because you cannot replace these organs. Okay, and for normal people, for us it is very difficult to control such kind of diseases because they are a threat to the life of that person, because you cannot remove stomach and put somebody else's stomach into your body. Okay, so that is why it is very safe to avoid such things. हम लोगों को ये सब चीज़ क्यूट लोगों को बोला जाता है कि छोड़ दो, बट इफ़ यू आर नॉट at this age, when you are so young, you should know that ये चीज़ खाने से हम लोगों को क्या problems हो सकती है. So you should avoid doing all this thing. Okay, even if people are telling you that you can eat this, nothing will happen. If your friends are telling you अरे खा के देखो, पी के देखो, you should always avoid it, because आज नहीं होगा problem, but it after some years it will cause problem. People लोगों के जो दांत है वो सड़ने लग जाते हैं. माउथ का कैंसर, यू मस्ट हैव सीन एड्स ड्यूरिंग द पिक्चर्स ऑल्सो. मूवीज स्टार्ट होने से पहले आप लोगों को दिखाया जाता है क्लिप कि स्मोकिंग से किस तरीके से कैंसर होता है. पीपल डाई, दे हैव टू रिमूव दैट पार्ट ऑफ द माउथ और द टंग. ओके, एंड दैट इज़ वेरी पेनफुल. So it is very important for us to understand that you should quit smoking. If any people in your house or around your house, your family or friend, anybody is doing that, you should help them and talk to them nicely. Say them that it is not good for your health, it is not good for the people around them also, and how it can lead to various problems. ऐसा नहीं है कि सीधा जाके हम लोग लोगों को बोल देंगे कि नहीं पियो नहीं पियो. It is not very simple to live such stop smoking or stop having tobacco or stop having alcohol, because their body is used to it. But you can help them, you can tell them that you should not do this, and they will gradually, they can leave that thing and become a healthy person also. So you should try and make your parents, your friends, the people around you aware of such things कि ये सारी चीज़ें करने से क्या problem हो सकती है. ठीक है. So I hope that my students also do not go for such things, that you all should also not consume, and people who are consuming also you should make them aware also कि इससे भी नहीं, उन्हें भी नहीं करना चाहिए. ठीक है. So I hope this chapter is quite clear to all of you. We have completed this entire chapter. I hope that if you have any doubts and queries, you can ask me in the comment section below. Till then, thank you. If you like our session, please do not forget to subscribe to our channel so that you can share and view the videos that we had today for you. And please do not forget to hit the bell icon so that you remain updated with all the latest videos that we'll be making for our dear students. This session was quite useful to you. In the next coming period, we'll learn something new and interesting. Till then, thank you.